This is the cipher of the prophet Amos, also called the book of the prophet Amos. The words of Amos, who was among the herdmen of Tekoa, which saw concerning Yisrael in the days of Yesiyahu, king of Yehudah, and in the days of Jeroboam, the son of Joash, king of Yisrael, 2 years before the earthquake. And he said, Yahweh will roar from Sion and utter his voice from Jerusalem, and the inhabitants of the shepherds shall mourn, and the top of Carmel shall wither. Thus says Yahweh, for 3 transgressions of Damascus, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because they have threshed Gilad with threshing instruments of iron. But I will send a fire into the house of Shazael, and shall devour the places of Ben-Hadad. I will break also the bar of Damascus, and cut off the inhabitants from the plain of Avim, and him that holds the sepulchre from the house of Eden, and the people of Aram shall go into captivity. Kayar, says Yahweh. Thus says Yahweh, for 3 transgressions of Gaza, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because they carried away captive the whole captivity to deliver them up to Edom. But I will set a fire on the wall of Gaza, and shall devour the places thereof, and I will cut off the inhabitants from Ashdod, and him that holds the scepter from Ashkelon, and I will turn my hand against Ekron, and remembrance of the Philistines shall perish, says Adonai Yahweh. Thus says Yahweh, for 3 transgression of Kesor, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because they delivered up the whole captivity of Edom, and remembered not the brotherly covenant. But I will send a fire on the wall of Kesor, which shall devour the places thereof. Thus says Yahweh, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword, and did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever. But I will send a fire upon Haman, which shall devour the places of Botzrah. Thus said Yahweh, for 3 transgressions of the children of Ammon, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because they have ripped up the women with child of Gilad, and they have enlarged their border. But I will kindle a fire in the wall of Rabbah, and it shall devour the places thereof with shouting in the day of battle, with tempest in the day of the whirlwind. And their king shall go into captivity, he and his princes together, saith Yahweh. Thus says Yahweh, for 3 transgressions of Moab, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he burned the bones of the kings of Edom into lime. But I will send a fire upon Moab, and it shall devour the places of Coriath, and Moab shall die with tumult, with shouting, and with the sounds of the shofar. And I will cut off the judge from the midst thereof, and I will slay all the princes thereof with him, says Yahweh. This says Yahweh, for 3 transgressions of Yehudah, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because they have despised the Torah of Yahuwah, and have not guarded his commandments, and their lies cause them to err, after the which their fathers have walked. But I will send a fire upon Yehudah, and it shall devour the places of Jerusalem. Thus says Yahweh, for 3 transgressions of Yisrael, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because they have sold the righteous for silver, and the poor for a pair of shoes, that pant after the dust of the earth on the head of the poor, and turn aside the way of the meek. And a man and his father will go unto the same maid to profane my holy name. And they lay themselves down upon clothes laid to pledge by every altar, and they drink the wine of condemned in the house of their Elohim. Yet destroyed I the emery before them, whose height was like the height of the cedars, and he was strong as the oaks. Yet I destroyed his fruit from above and his roots from beneath. Also, I brought you up from the land of Mitzrayim and led you 40 years through the wilderness to possess the land of Emery. And I raised up of your sons for prophets and of your young men for Nazarene. Is it not even thus, O ye children of Yisrael, says Yahweh? But he gave Nazarene wine to drink and commanded the prophets, saying, prophesy not. Behold, I am pressed under you as a cart is pressed that is full of sheaves. Therefore, the flight shall perish from the swift, and the strong shall not strengthen his force, neither shall his mighty deliver him. Neither shall he stand that handles the bow, and he that is swift of foot shall not deliver himself. Neither shall he that rides the horse deliver himself. And he that is courageous among the mighty shall flee away naked in that day, says Yahweh. Hear his word that Yahuwah has spoken against you, O children of Yisrael, against the whole family, which I brought up from the land of Mitzrayim, saying, you only have I known of all the families of earth. Therefore, I will punish you, for your iniquities. Can you walk together except they be agreed? Will a lion roar in the forest when he has no prey? Will a young lion cry out of his den if he have taken nothing? Can a bird fall in a snare upon the earth where no gin is for him? Shall one take up a snare from the earth and have taken nothing at all? Shall a shofar be blown in the city and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in the city and Yahweh has not done it? Surely Adonai Yahweh will do nothing, but he reveals his secret unto his servants, the prophets. The lion has roared, who will not fear? Adonai Yahweh has spoken, who can but prophesy? Publish in the places of Ashdod and in the places in the land of Mitzrayim, and say, assemble yourselves upon the mountains of Shimmeron, and behold the great tumults in the midst thereof, and the oppressed in the midst thereof, for they know not to do right, says Yahweh, for who store up violence and robbery in their places. Therefore, thus says Adonai Yahweh, an adversary there shall be round about the land, and he shall bring down your strength from you, and your palaces shall be spoiled. Thus says Yahweh, as a shepherd takes out of the mouth of the lion 2 legs, or a piece of an ear, so shall the children of Yisrael be taken out that dwell in Shimmeron, in the corner of a bed, and Damascus in a couch. Hear ye and testify in the house of Yaakov, says Adonai Yahuwah, and Elohai Tesabaoth, that in the day that I shall visit the transgressions of Yisrael, upon him I will also visit the altars of Bethel, and the horns of the altars shall be cut off and fall to the ground. And I will smite the winter house with summer house, and the house of ivory shall perish, and the great houses shall have an end, says Yahweh. Hear his word, ye kind of Bashan that are in the mountain of Shemmeron, which oppresses the poor, which crush the needy, which say to their masters, bring and let us drink. Adonai Yahuwah has sworn by his holiness that, lo, the day shall come upon you, that he will take you away with hooks, and your prosperity in fishing boats, and ye shall go out at the breaches, every cow at that which is before her, and ye shall cast them into the palace, says Yahweh. Come to Baadal and transgress at Gilgal. Multiply transgressions and bring your sacrifices every morning and your tithes after 3 years. and offer a sacrifice to thanksgiving with leaven, and proclaim and publish the free offerings. For this likes, O ye children of Yisrael, says Adonai Yahuwah. And I also have given you cleanness of your teeth in all your cities, and want of bread in all your places, yet ye have not returned unto me, says Yahuwah. And also I have withheld the rain from you, when there were yet 3 months to the harvest, and I caused it to rain upon one city, and caused it not to rain upon the other. One piece was rained upon, and the piece whereupon it rained not withered. So 2 or 3 cities wandered into one city to drink water, but they were not satisfied. Yet have ye not returned unto me, says Yahuwah. I have smitten you with blasting and mildew, when your gardens and your vineyards and your fig trees and your olive trees increased. The palmer worm devoured them. Yet have ye not returned to me, says Yahuwah. I have sent among you the pestilence after manner of Mitzrayim. Your young men have I slain with the sword, and have taken away your horses, and I have made the stink of your camps to come up into your nostrils. Yet have you not returned to me, says Yahuwah. I have overthrown some of you, as Elohim overthrows Eth Sedom and Eth Amorah, and ye were as firebrand plucked out of the burning. Yet have ye not returned to me, says Yahuwah. Therefore thus I will do unto you, O Yisrael, because I will do this unto you. Prepare to meet your Elohim, O Yisrael. For lo, he that forms the mountains and creates the wind and declares unto man what is thought, that makes the morning darkness and treads upon the high places of the earth. Yahuwah, the Elohai Tesavot, is his name. Hear ye this word which I take up against you, even a lamentation, O house of Yisrael. The virgin of Yisrael is fallen. She shall no more rise. She is forsaken upon her land. There is none to raise her up. For thus says Adonai Yahweh, the city that went out by 1,000 shall leave 100, and that which went forth by 100 shall leave 10 to the house of Yisrael. For thus says Yahuwah unto the house of Yisrael, seek ye me, and ye shall live, but seek not Beth-el, nor enter into Gilgal, and pass not to Be'er Sheva, for Gilgal shall surely go to captivity, and Beth-el shall come to naught. Seeketh Yahuwah, and ye shall live, lest he break out like a fire in the house of Joseph, and devour it, and there be none to quench it in Be'el. Ye who turn judgment into wormwood, and leave off righteousness in the earth, seek him that makes the 7 stars in Orion, and turns the shadow of death into morning, and makes the day dark with night, that call for the waters of the sea, and pours them out upon the face of the earth. Yahuwah is his name, that strengthens the spoiled against the strong, so that the spoiled shall come against the fortress. They hate him that rebukes in the garden, and they abhor him that speaks uprightly. For so much, therefore, as your treading is upon the poor, and ye take from him burdens of wheat, ye have built houses of hewn stone, but ye shall not dwell in them. Ye have planted pleasant vineyards, but ye shall not drink wine of them. For I know your manifold transgressions and your mighty sins. They affect the just, they take the bribe, and they turn aside the poor and the gate from their right. Therefore the prudent shall keep silent in that time, for it is an evil time. Seek good and not evil, that you may live. And so Yahuwah, the Elohai Tesavot, shall be with you, as ye have spoken. Hate the evil and love the good, and establish justice in the gate. It may be that Yahuwah Elohai Tesavot will be gracious unto the remnant of Joseph. Therefore, Yahuwah and Elohai Tesabaoth, Adonai, says thus, wailing shall be in the streets, and they shall say in all the highways, alas, alas, and they shall call the husbandmen to mourning, and such are the skillful of lamentations to wailing. And in all the vineyards shall be wailing, for I will pass through you, says Yahweh. Woe unto you that desire the day of Yahweh. To what end is it for you the day of Yahweh is darkness and not light? As if a man did flee from a lion, and a bear met him, or went into the house and learned his hand on the wall, and the serpent bit him. Shall not the day of Yahweh be darkness and not light, even very dark, and no brightness in it? I despise your feast days, and I will not smell in your solemn assemblies. Though ye offer me burnt offerings and your meat offerings, I will not accept them, neither will I regard the peace offerings of your fat beast. Take away from me the noise of your songs, for I will not hear the melody of your viols. But let judgment run down as rivers and righteousness as the mighty stream. Have you offered unto me sacrifices and offerings in the wilderness 40 years, O house of Yisrael? But ye have borne the tabernacle of your Moloch, and the Kiyun, your images, the stars of your Elohim, which ye made into yourselves. Therefore, I will cause you to go into captivity beyond Damascus, says Yahweh, whose name is the Eloi Tesabaoth. Woe unto them that are at ease in Tession, and trust in the mountains of Shimron, which are named chief of the nations, to whom the house of Yisrael came. Pass ye unto Telnai and see, and from thence go ye to Chamath the great, and go down to Gath and the Philistine. Be they better than these kingdoms, or their border greater than your border? Ye that put far away the evil day, and cause the seat of violence to come near, that lie upon the beds of ivory, and stretch themselves upon the couches, and eat the lambs out of the flock, and the calves out of the midst of the stall, that chant to the sound of the viol, and invent to themselves instruments of music, like David, that drink wine in bowls, and anoint themselves with the chief ointments, but they are not grieved for the afflictions of Joseph. Therefore now shall they go captive with the first that go captive, and the banquet of them that stretch themselves shall be removed. Adonai Yahweh has sworn by himself, says Yahweh Eloheka Tesabaoth, I abhor excellency of Yaakov, and hate his palaces. Therefore I will deliver up the city with all that is therein. And it shall come to pass, if there remain 10 men in one house, they shall die, and a man's uncle shall take him up, and he that burns him to bring out the bones out of the house, and shall say unto him that is by the sides of the house, is there yet any with you? And he shall say, no. Then he say, hold your tongue, for we may not make mention of the name of Yahweh. For behold, Yahweh commands, and he will smite the great house with breaches, and the little house with clefts. Shall horses run upon the rock? Will one plow there with oxen? For ye have turned judgment into gall, and the fruit of righteousness into hemlock. Ye which rejoice in the thing of naught, which say, have we not taken to us horns by our own strength? But behold, I will raise up against you a nation, O house of Yisrael, says Yahweh, the Elohai Tesabaoth, and they shall afflict you from the entry of Chamath into the river of the wilderness. Thus has Adonai Yahuwah showed unto me, and behold, he formed grasshoppers from the beginning of the shooting up of the latter growth. And lo, it was the latter growth after the king's mowings. And it came to pass that when he had made an end of eating the grass of the land, then I said, O Adonai Yahuwah, forgive, I beseech you, by whom shall Yaakov arise? For he is small. Yahuwah repented for this. It shall not be, says Yahuwah. Thus has Adonai Yahuwah showed unto me, and behold, Adonai Yahuwah called to contend by fire, and it is devoured at the great deep, and I did eat up as a part. Then said I, O Adonai Yahuwah, cease, I beseech you. By whom shall Yaakov arise? For he is small. Yahuwah repented for this. This also shall be, says Adonai Yahuwah. Thus he showed me, and behold, Adonai stood up a wall made by plumb line, with a plumb line in his hand. And Yahuwah said to me, Amos, what do you see? And I said, a plumb line. Then said Adonai, behold, I will set a plumb line in the midst of my people, Yisrael. I will not again pass by them any more. And the high places of Yitzchak shall be desolate, and the sanctuaries of Yisrael shall be laid waste. And I will rise again the house of Jeroboam with the sword. When Amatyahu, the priest of Bethel, sent to Jeroboam, king of Yisrael, saying, Amos has conspired against you in the midst of the house of Yisrael, and the land is not able to bear all his words. For thus Amos says, Jeroboam shall die by the sword, and Yisrael shall surely be led away captive out of their own land. Also Amatyahu said to Amos, I hear, O you seer, go, flee away into the land of Yehuda, and there eat bread and prophesy there. But prophesy not again more at Bethel, for it is the king's chapel, and it is the king's court. Then answered Amos and said to Amatyahu, it was no prophet, neither was I a prophet's son, but I was a herdsman and a gatherer of sycamore fruit. And Yahuwah took me as I followed the flock, and Yahuwah said to me, go prophesy unto my people, Yisrael. Now therefore hear you the word of Yahuwah. You say, prophesy not against Yisrael, and drop not your word against the house of Yitzchak. Therefore thus says Yahuwah, your woman shall be a harlot in the city, and your sons and your daughters shall fall by the sword, and your land shall be divided by line. And you shall die in a polluted land, and Yisrael surely shall go into captivity, forth of his land. Thus has Adonai Yahuwah showed unto me, and behold, a basket of summer fruit. And he said, Amos, what do you see? And I said, a basket of summer fruit. Then said Yahuwah to me, the end is come upon my people of Yisrael. I will not again pass by them any more, and the songs of the temple shall be howlings in that day, says Adonai Yahuwah. There shall be many dead bodies in every place, and they shall cast them forth with silence. Hear this, O ye that swallowed up the needy, even to make the poor of the land to befail, saying, when will the new moon be gone, that we may sell grain, and the Sabbath, that we may set forth wheat, making the ephah small, and the shekel great, and falsifying the balances by deceit, that we may buy the poor for silver, and the needy for a pair of shoes, yea, and sell the refuge of the wheat. Yahweh has sworn by the excellency of Yaakov, surely I will never forget any of their works. Shall not the land tremble for this, and everyone mourn that dwells therein? And it shall rise up wholly as a flood, and it shall be cast out and drowned, as by the flood of Mitzrayim. And it shall come to pass in that day, says Adonai Yahweh, that I will cause the sun to go down at noon, and I will darken the earth in a clear day. And I will turn your feast into mournings, and all your songs into lamentations. And I will bring up sackcloth upon all loins, and baldness upon every head. And I will make it as the morning of Yahid, and the end thereof is a bitter day. Behold, the days come, says Adonai Yahweh, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing at the words of Yahweh. And they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek after the word of Yahweh, and shall not find it. In that day shall the fair virgins and young men faint for thirst. They that swear by the sin of Shimron, and say, your Elohim, O Dan, lives, and the matter of Beersheba lives, even they shall fall and never rise again. I saw Adonai standing upon the altar, and he said, smite the lintel of the door, that the posts may shake, and cut them in the head, all of them, and I will slay the last of them with the sword. He that flees of them shall not flee away, and he that escapes of them shall not be delivered. Though they dig into Sheol, thence shall my hand take them. Though they climb up to heaven, thence will I bring them down. And though they hide themselves in the top of Carmel, I will search and take them out thence. And though they be hid from my sight in the bottom of the sea, thence will I command at the serpent, and he shall bite them. And though they go into captivity before their enemies, thence will I command at the sword, and it shall slay them. And I will set my eyes upon them for evil, and not for good. And Adonai Yahweh Tsabaoth is he that touches the land, and it shall melt, and all that dwell therein shall mourn. And it shall rise up wholly like a flood, and shall be drowned as the flood of Mitzrayim. It is he that builds his stories in the heavens, and has founded his troops in the earth. He that calls for the waters of the sea, and pours them out upon the face of the earth. Yahweh is his name. Are ye not as children of Cushim unto me, O children of Yasrael? Says Yahweh. Have not I brought up Yasrael out of the land of Mitzrayim, and the Philistine from Cactor, and Amamim from Kir? Behold, the eyes of Adonai Yahweh are upon the sinful kingdom, and I will destroy it off the face of the earth, saving that I will not utterly destroy the house of Yaakov, says Yahweh. For lo, I will command, and I will sift the house of Yasrael among all the nations, like a grain is sifted in a sieve, yet shall not the last grain fall upon the earth. All the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say, the evil shall not overtake nor prevent us. In that day I will raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, and close up at the branches thereof, and I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old, that they may possess at the remnant of Edom, and of all the heathen which are called by my name, says Yahweh that does this. Behold, the days come, says Yahweh, that the plowman shall overtake the reaper, and the treader of grapes him that sows seed, and the mountains shall drop sweet wine, and all the hills shall melt. And I will bring again the captivity of my people of Yasrael, and they shall build the waste cities and inhabit them, and they shall plant vineyards and drink the wine thereof. They shall also make gardens and eat at the fruit of them, and I will plant them upon their land, and they shall no more be pulled up out of their land, which I have given them, says Yahweh Eloheka. And this